Hi guys, long time no see. It's been a while, yes, I know. I've had a couple incidents that I'll discuss a little bit later, but first of all, I did finish up the X24 build. I'd like to get that edited up, but unfortunately, one of those incidents that I mentioned earlier was that I lost that quad. It is now sitting up in the mountains under about 3 feet of snow. So I'm not going to be recovering that quad anytime soon. I'll detail that a little bit later. But today I'd like to talk about another bad experience that I had. This was with my Tankito. I did a little bit of a flight. I was testing out the Easy UHF that I had on it and did a little bit of flight. And well, I'll explain a little bit as the video progresses, but I'm going to show you the lead up to the flight and then the actual flight itself. And then at the very end, I'll talk about some of the lessons I learned. So we're off today to a spot that I've flown before. It's a little river, there's a bridge and a bunch of large trees. I can't pronounce the name of the river. I'll put it in the video, something crazy. But it's a nice little spot. I'm hoping that there won't be a lot of people there. Hopefully I'll get a decent range. I'm going to use the Tankito with Easy UHF for some of it, and then I'll use some of my mini quads with 2.4 for the rest. So it should be a good mix, and there's a couple spots that I'd like to hit, or I'd like to see if I can hit along the way. Should be good. So I'll turn you around and you can enjoy the ride. Try that again. If you're wondering why this looks like a barren wasteland, or at least with no trees, it's because a couple years ago there was a large fire that came through here. And it's one of the large problems with Chile. Since we have very little rain during the summertime, everything dries out, and it's very, very common to have large forest fires. And this was one of the largest that we've had here in recent years. This is probably about 20-30 kilometers from our house, and we could smell the smoke from there. It covered an extensive area. Not exactly sure how extensive an area, but an extensive area, and basically wiped out all the trees. So now they're in the process of regrowing. And we're going to fly here because it's kind of a nice area, nice open area, lots of space, and we're going to enjoy ourselves. Or at least I'm going to enjoy myself. Hopefully you guys will too. Okay, so I take off and I'm heading for this distant hill. As you can see, there's not a lot of characteristics or features in the landscape. It's just kind of barren, lots of trees. And this is where things start to get bad. You look around, can you see where I came from? I can see where I came from, but I know where I took off from now. However, at the time, I couldn't see where I took off from, so I wasn't exactly sure which way to go. So I do this dive down this hill, and it's actually in the right direction. If you look off into the distance, I'll point it out here, coming up now, this is where I am. Now I just go on behind this little hill and I start to lose video, and that screws me up. So I get panicked. I'm not exactly sure which way to go. I see these roads. Which road is the correct road? I don't remember. So I follow these roads, and now this is a mistake as well. I'm just going in the wrong direction. I'm just wandering around looking. Okay, well, I'll go to the top of the nearest hill. Now, in my mind, when I was looking for the quad, I was sure I went to the hill I went up originally. But if you look here, I'm not going. I'm going to a different hill. So here we are, going up this hill, and this is basically where I make my last stand. I look around, I try to figure out where the heck I am, how to get back, and nothing really works. It's just, I have no idea where I am. I make a couple dives down the hill, just circle around, looking around, and see really nothing. So eventually I decide I'm just going to set it down. I'm going to set it down where I think I can find it. And that's exactly what I do. I set it down. So in this flight, I made about 5 mistakes, 5 big mistakes. The first of which, I panicked. I got up to the top of the hill, I looked around, and I realized, where am I? I don't see me. I don't see where I am. So that was the biggest mistake. I tried to remain calm. I tried to put the quad back down where I thought I could find it, but I was really far off, as you saw in the video. Second mistake, I didn't record the flight with my DVR. I have a DVR on my goggles just for this occasion, and I didn't record it. So that was mistake number 2. Mistake number 3, the camera was not set for the conditions. My the FPV camera. So all I saw was white sky and dark ground and nothing else. So I couldn't really see what was going on. Fourth mistake was the TBS PNP 50 that I had just installed wasn't installed properly. So I was getting a lot of video interference. I really couldn't see what was going on. That wasn't helping between the two, between the camera not being set and the PNP. I couldn't really see anything. And that was a large mistake. And the last mistake, and this is probably a larger mistake, one of the larger mistakes, is that I didn't do a reconnaissance flight. I didn't look back to see where I had come from. I didn't fly around that area first to see how to get back, to recognize the landmarks. So if I had done that, I probably would have been okay. But since I didn't, I was screwed. So this quad sat out in the wilderness for about 2 days. I had went out and searched for it about 4 times, spent many hours out there searching for it, looking in the wrong place, number 1. But it turns out that a forestry worker had found the quad, picked it up, and taken it back. So he had let somebody else know that was living nearby that he had found the quad, and if they see me again, they should tell me where it is. So the guy saw me, and he said, you lost a quad. Well, I know who has it. So once I found that, I called the guy up and basically met with him, took the quad, everything was intact. The camera was intact. Everything was intact, which is excellent. And yeah, gave him about 20,000 pesos, 20 lucas, as they say in Spanish, for his trouble, because he was so honest. He could have sold the camera, he could have sold the quad, but he didn't. He kept it. And so I'm very appreciative of that. So I'm very happy because I got my Tankito back. I really like how that flies. So tune in next time, and I'll talk a little bit about the X24 and why I haven't recovered that, and talk about my recovery efforts up until now. So hope you enjoyed. Hope you'll learn something. Till next time.